Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make vegan oatmeal raisin cookies. These cookies are really chewy, so if you're looking for a hard, crisp cookie, that's not this cookie. This one is chewy and fluffy and soft and so good. Stephanie will testify to that. She loves the cookies. I love the cookies. If you are new to being a vegan and you miss that butter flavor, then you'll love this cookie. Okay, so here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of Ener G, which is an egg replacer. This is what the box looks like. This is your egg supplement because these are vegan cookies. We're not using eggs. We also will be using just 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You can do a little less if you don't like salt. You could do 1/4. We're gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of raisins, and 1.5 cup. I like the Old Fashioned Oats, but you could also use the quick oats if you don't like that mealy texture in your cookies. I like chewiness, so I would go for the Old Fashioned Oats. You're also going to want to have a spare bowl for the Ener G, the egg replacer, because we're going to add 1/4 cup of warm water to it. You need a mesh strainer, an extra bowl, and then if you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, you're gonna want to use a hand mixer and another bowl, so you'll need 3 bowls total. But if you have a KitchenAid mixer, then use it because it's so helpful. Okay, so let's get started. First, we are going to take the Earth Balance, the butter, and you're gonna use 1 cup of this. We'll type everything out and put it in the information drop down so that when you guys go to make these cookies, you'll know exactly what you need and how much you need of everything. So 1 cup is about half of the container. So we're just gonna put that in. And first we wanna add all of our wet ingredients. So we want the butter. We want to add our brown sugar and our granulated sugar. Just gonna dump those in there. Steph and I are both stay-at-home mommies and it's about lunchtime for our babies. So if you hear little cries, that's all it is. But everybody's happy other than that. All right, so once you get all of your ingredients in, you're gonna whip it on high, and you want that to whip until it's fluffy. While that's going, we are going to get our maple syrup. We want 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. I'm just gonna slowly add that. And you wanna whip it until it's fluffy. While that's mixing, you wanna get your Ener G, which is 2 tablespoons. And then we're gonna grab our spare bowl, put the Ener G in, and you want 1/4 cup of warm water. So we're gonna dump that right in. We're gonna whisk it until it's dissolved. And while we're whisking this, just keep an eye on your cookie batter. It's all fluffy now. So we're just gonna keep whisking the Ener G. You wanna make sure that there's no clumps in it because I tried to take a shortcut once, and if you take the shortcut and you don't mix the water well, then your cookies won't rise and they'll be like flat, hard pancakes, and you don't want that. So make sure you mix the Ener G with the warm water. Warm water is also really important because of how it reacts with the Ener G. It helps the cookies to bond together because this is your egg replacer. So once you have it all mixed, we're just gonna add it to our batter. And then we're gonna turn it back on to low, just a low, because you want it to incorporate. And if you turn it on high, then you'll get a big splash of energy, and you don't want that all over your kitchen. Okay. So while that's mixing, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna sift our dry ingredients. So you'll take your 1.5 cup of flour, put it in the sifter, add your cinnamon, your salt, your baking soda, and baking powder. And you're just gonna sift this together real quick. It's really easy, and this helps aerate the flour, so that way when your cookies, once you mix your cookies, they'll be nice and fluffy, and that's what we want. So just tap it till it's, we're almost there, till it's all through. So now that that's all sifted, we want to come over here and slow your mixer down and slowly add your flour to the wet ingredients. You don't want your mixer on high for this part, because if it is high, then it'll splash you up in the face, because when the dry ingredients meet the wet ingredients, if you don't slowly incorporate them, it causes a big poof to happen, which I had to find out the hard way, so I'd rather tell you guys this way so that your kitchen stays nice and clean. All right, so you'll have to stop it about midway through and just scrape down the sides of your bowl, so that way you don't end up with chunks of flour, because that won't be a good bite. All right, so we're gonna keep mixing that on low speed for a couple seconds. And we're gonna grab our oats. We're gonna add our oats just a little bit at a time. And once your oats have been incorporated, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of raisins. If you don't like raisins, you don't have to add them. If you like a lot of raisins, you could do 2 cups, 1.5 cup. I just had a 1/2 cup left, so that's what I'm using today. So we're going to add the raisins. And that looks great. So make sure you take your whisk attachment off. Beat the dough out. Now for this recipe, you want to make sure that you preheat your oven to 350 degrees so that it's nice and warm. So when you get your cookies in, they'll just bake right away. You don't have to wait, the dough doesn't have to sit and wait out. So I have a tablespoon, so I'm just going to do tablespoons, because I found that if you try to use a cookie scoop and try to make these really big, they take about 25 minutes to cook, whereas if you use a tablespoon, then it will only take about 11 minutes. So we're just going to do drops of cookies. And it's okay if they're not even drops, because oatmeal cookies they can be any way you want them to be, and I like them misshaped, and they look more natural that way. So I'm making vegan cookies today because actually I have a friend who's a vegan, and she has a hard time finding stuff that tastes good, that are sweets, but she still has a sweet tooth, so she doesn't want to compromise. And she asked me, she said, "Autumn, do you have any good vegan cookie recipes?" And I was like, "Yeah, I sure do." And so I took one of my recipes that I always use for regular oatmeal cookies, and I just substituted the energy and the Earth's Best butter, so that way there's no animal byproducts, and voila, vegan free. All right, now that we have these all panned, we're gonna pop them in the oven that's set at 350 for 11 minutes. Then once you pull them out of the oven, you want to come over here and you want to transfer them to a cooling rack so they can cool. Mommy has cookies! Are you ready? Here you go. Kids don't lie. If it's not good, they won't eat it. Now that your vegan cookies have completely cooled, you can package them, you can put them on a plate, and you will watch them vanish because these are so good. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna wanna make these all the time. So I saved the container that the oats came in. Now that it's empty, I'm just gonna package them, stack them up, drop them down in there. And that way, our friends will know that they're oatmeal raisin cookies. And that'll keep them nice too. Awesome. And that is the perfect little container. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts. Nice thoughts only, please. And as always, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May He be gracious to you and may His face shine upon you. God bless you guys.